Hi Soulmates, if you love this dress and you love to know how to draft and cut it, then this video is definitely for you. You need to watch till the very end. This style is actually or can actually be made with a crepe fabric or any silky fabric that you might like. My name is Veronica Adams Eze. Welcome to Vera Adams YouTube channel. So without wasting time, let's get started. So right here is the pattern paper I'll be using for the course of this tutorial. The measurement you're using here is bust 36, waist 32 and hip 40. Right here I'm measuring from shoulder to bust, which is 10 inches, shoulder to waist, which is 16.5 inches, shoulder to hip 24 inches, and to the hem, which is 34 inches. So right here I'll be moving down to the hem of this pattern paper, and I've gone ahead to attach paper at the hem, and here I have 4 2/4 of an inch added to the initial 34 inches. So right here I have 37 2/4 as a total length of this dress, and I went ahead to cut another pattern paper exactly as the first one. So here it is, everything matches up from the waistline to the bust line to the hip line. So right at this point I'm going to go ahead and take one of the paper, and here I'm naming it from the bust line to the waistline to the hip line, and on the bust line I'm going to go down by 3 inches. That will represent our under bust. Yes, so the under bust is 13 inches from the shoulder line. So right at the under bust I'm going to mark 0.25 inches there, and then on the chest line I didn't roll it out initially, so I went ahead to roll it out. On the chest line I'm going to go ahead and mark 0.75 inches on the chest line, and I'm going to connect right from the chest line to the under bust, just the way you see me doing. Moving on, right on the chest line I'm going to go down by 0.75 inches at the side, and still on the chest line I'm going to mark 4 inches away from the center, which represents the nipple to nipple, and I'll go ahead and add ½ inch. That means 4.5 inches. From there I'll connect using the curved part of my ruler to that 0.75 inches that we left on the side. So here it is. You can as well use 1 inch if you want. To determine where the strap will be, I'll mark 5 inches from the center of the paper, and I'll go ahead to mark the same 5 inches at the shoulder line, and I'll go ahead to connect these points together using my ruler. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead to mark 0.25 away from that line. I want the width of the strap to be 0.25. It's not supposed to be long, so I'm going to go ahead to mark 0.25 from the top to the chest line, just the way you see me doing right here. Moving on, I'll go ahead to open up the pattern paper, and then I'll rule out the midpoint, just the way you're seeing me doing right here. But because I want it to be more obvious, I've gone ahead to highlight it with my marker pen. So right at the initial hem, which is at 3 inches, I've gone ahead to mark 1 inch away from the center line. And also on the final hem line, I went ahead to mark 1 inch away from the center, and then I connected both points together. Right from the final hem, I'm going to connect to the initial hem on the side, just the way you see me doing right here. Moving on to the hip on the other side, I'll go ahead and divide what I have from the hip to the initial length, which is 9 inches. I've gone ahead to divide that 9 inches into 2 and then make a point right there. Right on that line, I'll go ahead and mark 5 inches away from the center point, and from there I'll connect downwards, just the way you're seeing me doing right here. Right from this point, I want it to be a bit curvy, so that's why I stopped the straight line at that point. So I'm going to go ahead to mark, or use the slightly curved part of my ruler to form a curved line to meet the hip line, just the way that I'm doing right here. So if you want a straight line, you can actually go ahead to do that, doesn't matter. So right at this point, I've gone ahead to use my marker pen to trace it out, and I'll also do same for the upper region. So right at this point, I realized that I didn't want the strap to come after that curved part into the armhole, so I want it to come after the strap. So I've gone ahead to make adjustments and let it come immediately after the strap. So here it is, and I'm cancelling out the initial one. Remember that at the beginning of the tutorial we cut out 2 pattern paper. So I've gone ahead to place the other pattern paper right beneath this one, and I'm going out to trace out. I made sure that everything aligned, and I'm going out to trace out so that I can do same for this other pattern paper. So right here I'm following what I had from the tracing wheel, and I'm ruling everything out just the way you're seeing me doing right here. This is actually easier when you want to transfer the same design on another pattern paper, and it gives you exactly what you have on the initial one. So right here I've gone ahead to trace what I need out on this second pattern paper, and here is what it looks like. This second pattern paper actually does not include the design that we have on the hem, so I'm going ahead to cut out that extra 4 2/4 that I added. After this is done, I'll go ahead and cut out the upper parts, which is what I'm doing right here. If this is your first time here on this channel, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If you like what you see, do well to click on the subscribe button. If you find this video useful, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button. It will really go a long way. And to my wonderful and lovely returning subscribers, thank you for always staying tuned to this channel. So right here is the first pattern paper, and I'm also going to go ahead to cut out the upper part just as I did for the other one. But in addition to this, I'm going to go ahead to cut out that design that we had on the bottom, which was what we didn't do for the other pattern paper. This is the pattern paper that carries that design, so I've gone ahead to cut it out, and here is what we have. Please note that the other pattern paper was cut right on the initial hem, so it doesn't have that extra hem design. As you can see, I've also gone ahead to cut out strap for this pattern paper as well, just in the same manner that I did for the other one. So here's what it looks like. This is the pattern paper that comes with the design at the bottom, and I'll also go ahead and bring in the other pattern paper. So right here is the other pattern paper without the design at the hem. So, and at this point I'm placing both pattern papers together. I'm placing the one with the design on top of the one without the design at the bottom, and here is what it looks like. If you got confused at one point in this tutorial, make sure that you go back and watch again, and if you still have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to respond to you. And if you found this tutorial useful, do well to click on the like button, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.